All right, well, you can't build your own PC anymore. And if you're thinking about doing so, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. RAM, what is that? Well, to put it simply, if the CPU is the long-term memory, the RAM is the short-term memory, compiling all the data a computer needs to be a computer.
Micron, producers of RAM for your PCs.
Yeah.
Wow. Micron basically, in the lamest terms, said, appreciate y'all for buying our products and boosting up this. Fuck y'all niggas.
Something that usually costs $200. $400 if you really want to get pricey. Want to know how much it costs now? $4,000.
Small word, we will no longer be selling RAM to the people who buy computers and need RAM. We are going to be selling RAM to the AI fucking plants that are using your water and spewing bile into your air, because them niggas need all the RAM right now to keep up with their unsustainable ass fucking data centers. Exactly. And we don't care about you niggas anymore, despite the fact that you were our business model since the entire fucking existence of the company.
$4,000. The cheapest stick being $500. Do you want to know why an essential piece to making a PC now costs $4,000?
Is what I bought on August 30th. 64 gigabytes. That's a lot of fucking RAM. I bought the Ryzen 9. That was like 340, 350. That's still like 345, 350.
Yeah.
I bought that RAM for $250.
Yeah.
64 gigs of RAM. $250.
Wait, was that next screen? Okay.
Go to the next screenshot. This is the prices today. Fucking
This is a point I've long since made when it comes to learning how to cultivate old machines or old tech and being able to do stuff with it and modify it. Because the reality is, I knew stuff like this was going to happen. I write science fiction, for crying out loud. So why wouldn't I perceive this? At the end of the day, when it comes to working on my car, when it comes to working on my PC, when it comes to even fixing a smartphone, I just like to be hands-on and get my hands dirty and fix things myself, because I knew the day would come when these things would get too expensive. So when you see me working on a relatively old car, or you see me fiddling with an old PC, it's not because I'm being cheap. It's not even that. It's because I know there's usefulness in knowing how to fix things. But currently what they're doing with all these new things, whether it's phones, computers, cars like EVs, they make it in such a way that you cannot work on it yourself. Case in point, do you remember, well, you should know, your car right now, if it's I don't know, if it's a normal car, a normal engine, petrol, diesel, it's got in there what's called a timing belt. Yeah. Now that would be what kind of helps regulate the pistons and all that kind of stuff. And basically, before they were chains, they were metal, so you wouldn't have to replace them. But manufacturers thought, how can I make money? How can I make money from this? So you know what, we're going to replace the chains, and we're going to make the fan belts and what have you, timing belts. We're going to make them made of rubber. So eventually they have to be replaced, because after a while they wear down, just like the soles on your shoes or the tires on your car, they wear down. So they knew that if they make us have to pay for those things, because otherwise, if your timing belt goes while the car's running, your engine is done. It is done. The pistons are going to be all out of sync. You're done out here. So you're going to have to replace the whole engine, change it. Anyway, so that's why they say after a certain amount of miles that you're going to have to buy a new timing belt. But before, when it was a chain, you didn't have to worry about that. This is how companies make the money out of us, man. Half these things they don't need to do, but they do it because they want to make extra money out of us. And then you become beholden to the whims of the manufacturer who sold it to you. So if they decide to take your brand new EV car, for example, and they tell you that the light bulb is going to cost you £300 just to change a headlamp, it is what it is. Now, me and you know we can just go to Halfords or whatever shop it is. Damn, you can even go to Poundland and you can just buy a replacement head bulb set, go in the thing, open the bonnet, unscrew the ting and replace it. The end, and carry on driving on about your day. But the way they're making these cars, they want to pay you and charge you an arm and a leg. Yeah, just for the most simplest of things. And they know that the new generation of people coming up that don't know how to do these things, these people that don't know the difference between a flathead screwdriver and a Phillips screwdriver, they're just going to give the money. That's if they've got it. And if you don't have the money, do you see now why the gap between rich and poor is growing? Because of the lack of skill, and also the lack of knowledge in how to do things for yourself. So yeah, I don't know where we go from here, but this is getting worse and it's a problem. And corporate greed is just at an all-time high. And yeah, so it's not all doom and gloom that I'm trying to sell you, but I'm just trying to help you understand why I do things the way I do things. So yeah, I'm what some people would call a sparky. Like, you know, I use a soldering iron, I use tools, and I just like to do stuff myself. If you're a young man out there studying, I don't know, electronics or electrical installation, I recommend you start learning how to change EV batteries. That's if they let you. Anyway, that's me.
1,000 degrees Celsius, I make MCs melt. Fuck my record label, I appear courtesy of myself.
Bumbo clot, I want to them die.